you come out to the course, if you're the lead facilitator, you'll definitely have this with you. And inside has, like I talked about this morning, this is your inspection checkoff log page. And so check this stuff off as you go through inspecting, and everything should be inspected before the group arrives, okay? And inside this binder, it has more specifics about what needs to be inspected. So for instance, if for whatever reason you don't have your manual, but you should, you can look in here and be like, okay, what exactly did I need to inspect? And you can flip open to this page, and it's in your manual as well, the inspections page. And the thing about gear, I read this little thing, it's kind of stupid and lame, but gear error is rare, while human error needs care. So it's kind of an easy way to remember. It's very rare that gear is going to fail in of it by itself. What's going to happen is, if the failure is going to happen on the course, it's going to be like a knot that was incorrectly tied. There's this new way to finish a knot called the Yosemite, and it's like you do this figure eight, and then you put the knot back through you put the tail back through the knot, and if it's not pulled through, it creates this other loop, right? So you have this loop, and then you have the actual loop at the end of the figure eight, and someone clipped into the loop of just the tail, and so they climbed up all the way to the wall, and then they're like, okay, coming down, all right, and they put all the weight, and the tail just flipped out, and they fell, because the knot wasn't correctly tied. So it's things like that that's going to fail on a course. Not following the procedures, the zipline procedure, or clipping them in correctly, or whatever it may be. So conscious competence is huge on the challenge course. If something's going to go wrong, 99.9% of the time it's going to be something that human error, as well as false inspection by the challenge course director, which is me. Like annually, this course needs to be inspected. All the belay cables. The belay cables are the cables that you clip your lobster claws into. Every element, you'll see there's one wire above each element, and that's the belay cable. And if those aren't inspected and they're not functional, like they're super rusty and look like they're about to pop out, and nobody saw that, and somebody goes on there and then they land on their lobster claws and the thing pulls out, then that was my fault. As well as the facilitator at the beginning of each day needs to check that. So before I jump ahead, okay, so when you're going through your gear, right, something to think about, like if you look at the gear and you look at this course, you ask yourself, do I trust this course and gear with my life? Would I trust this gear and this course with my loved one's life? And then also be meta-conscious. Yeah, it may, like, to you, you'd use that rope and it's totally going to work every time, or that carabiner or that harness, but how does it appear to the participants? So be meta-conscious. Like, if the rope is super dirty, are they going to have a lot of faith in that? Is the dirt of that rope going to distract them from being able to really experience the course? Or if we give them a dirty harness, like does that really, is that very professional, or are they going to feel confident in that gear? So yeah, the gear may work, but if it doesn't look right to somebody who's just coming in, that's not okay. So be meta-conscious when you're inspecting. And when in doubt about something, don't use it. A lot of times it's like, yeah, X, Y, and Z may be all good and correct, but it's also good to listen to your gut. Like, yeah, like this new policy about knots, we don't have to do backup knots anymore. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, my gut doesn't feel right about that. So we're just going to continue to do backup knots at the Soundview Challenge course. But by ACCT standards, you don't have to do backup knots anymore. But standards are always changing, so sometimes our gut and our intuition is right, more right than actual official industry standards. Lance, did you want to chime in with any of that? Any of that big picture stuff?
If you have, at any point in time that you're either up in the roast course as a facilitator or down here on the ground, and the little hairs on the back of your neck stand up, pay attention to that, because that's the stop aware. Something you're catching is not right. So take a good look around and see what's going on. It might be that you're just out of your peripheral vision, you're watching a participant that's they're even with another facilitator doing a transfer, but something's blocked by your view that you don't notice that they're doing that, and they're doing a transfer. What might be actually going on is they're not actually with another facilitator, they're actually doing the transfer on their own. When it comes to the equipment, like Jason said, if you have any doubt in your mind, don't use it. That's why we inspect it.
When in doubt, leave it out.
It's a simple rule. You can't get in trouble for erring on the side of safety. Always err to the side of safety.
Groth, did you have anything you wanted to? You're the gear man. Even wearing the sweatshirt to prove it.
But again, so's Mary.
Okay, so real simple way to remind yourself of what to look at, what to inspect, are the 3 E's. All these good things come in the in pairs of 3s. No, that doesn't work. Come in 3s. Good things come in 3s. So the three E's are environment, element, equipment. So I start with environment. So when I come to the course and the low course, this goes for the low course too. I'm looking at the environment. Okay, what things do I need to look at? What are some things that we need to maybe pay attention to on the high course as part of just the environment? Feel free to chime in. Shout them out.
Sticking up, sharp pointy sticks.
Sharp pointy sticks. Okay. What else?
Tree limbs that might have gotten loose but not fallen down.
Yeah, a widowmaker. And there's actually one. Where is it? Right. It's hard to point out. Okay, if you're leaving the course and you look straight up, if you go 10 feet past that tree right there, there's a huge widowmaker actually right above our trail, our access trail, and that's something that needs to be taken out. So. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but something to be aware of. Yeah, Groth will figure something out.
Get on it, Groth.
Yeah, so those are called widowmakers. What else?
Sap.
Sap? What about sap?
Which kind?
In the way.
Is it critical though for?
Not really.
Not really. So it's just kind of an annoying thing as opposed to.
I don't think it harms the gear, does it?
It can if it gets in the way of a mechanism, like a pulley or a rope going through something. If it's like built up in there, I don't think we still have. We used to have something that was like coated in sap, and if that happens, then yeah, that's not good to do.
The weather.
The weather, yeah, that's all part of the environment.
Huge bee nuts.
Huge bee nest,
Big
yeah,
pile
for
of
sure.
poop.
There's people that are allergic to bees, so it's good to be aware. Where's the bees, if there are any bees, and while you're doing this, it's good to have binoculars too. Like, see any widowmakers? We're gonna have a pair that's gonna live in the shed too, so there'll be binoculars out here for you guys. If there's lightning or thunder, no.
Out of the tree.
Just metal, high, no, bad combination. Nobody's going in the course. You can leave the course area. There's high winds. Use best judgment, like how high are the winds, and is this affecting the course to the point where this could snag some widowmaker loose, like that one. And there's also a huge dead tree that we're in the process of taking out. It's pretty close to the course. If high winds are strong enough to pull that